Hello and welcome to the Utica Home Track Series for the 12th race of the schedule at Indianapolis. Now we're past the halfway point. Things are starting to get into full championship mode. So these drivers are going to really want to do well here at the Brickyard to get themselves in good contention for the championship. The winner at this race has always been a factor for the championship near the end of the year. So let's see if that can be the case this time. The starting grid rolls past. 42 cars are battling for this victory. Anyone with an R next to their name is a rookie. And though 42 drivers are in the race, there are quite a few drivers that failed to make the show. And this is the list of them right now. They include Matt Dool, Dylan Young, Thomas Beatty, Willie Decker, Brian Benoit, Inman J, Caitlin Stringer, Joshua Michaels, Shelby LaGray, Dion Scott, Brendan Patterson, and Nick Haps. On pole, though, with another rookie, Alex DeMarco getting his first career Utica Home Track Series pole. Now, this was quite the feat for the young driver, the number 51 Colgate Dodge. And he's just elated. He was very excited in the garage area this weekend, and he is rightfully so. He is trying to go for that position in locked-in contention. So, he's trying to get a good run today, and he's leading the field on lap 1 against some of the top drivers. Speaking of top drivers, here are some drivers who have won here before. Tyler Benoit and Russell Arcuri, the 2011 and 2012 winners respectively. They are not doing well at all. They currently sit 41st and 42nd. So they're going to have to really work their way through the field if they want a chance of repeating a victory here. And this is especially crippling for Tyler Benoit, who just came off winning the All-Star Challenge. So he's hoping that momentum would have carried over this weekend. Struggled in qualifying heavily, but Matt Evans, a great qualifying run on the outside pole, and a great dash to the race lead as car number 4 takes over the top spot. Matt Evans won Sonoma and got his 7th victory this season. He's going for 8 today, and he's hoping that when we start the foreign tour next week, he can pick off a couple victories there too. Alex DeMarco is not going to be that easy, though. He's going to pass the next lap on lap 4, and Alex DeMarco goes back to the race lead. He's shown that he can be a tough competitor on the speedways, as he's been usually better on the road courses. You look for the number 08 machine, they might keep this for the rest of the season. This is Andreas Allen, who debuted at this track last year and for a while was the rookie of the race. But car number 06, sponsored by Lindsey Sterling, the famous violinist. And that is a pretty snazzy looking race car, and it's done well for him so far. He qualified in the top 10 and is currently running 7th at the moment. So good job for Andreas Allen coming back to the track where he started at, along with many other drivers. Maria Commisso, car number 26, goes for the race lead. And the LaGray Racing stable has some of the best cars in the sport. And Maria Commisso is hoping to end a slump in the race finishes that she has had after her win at North Carolina earlier this year. Maria Commisso is a top-notch driver, but has always been struggling near the midpoint of the year. Usually she has to try and make it back up at the end of the season. Speaking of points, Bob Cittadino is your points leader going into today's race, but things are not looking especially good for the number 04 machine. He currently sits 28th. That's not good if he wants to keep this points lead. Now, Bob Cittadino has come close to a championship before in 2011, but if he doesn't pick it up soon, drivers like William Duncan or Dom Capps might take it over. Matt Evans, car number 4, he's going to go back to the race lead, and he's going to show them who's boss. It looks like William Duncan's also going to follow underneath the 26th machine. That's the last driver Bob Cittadino wants to see up front. But at the current moment, Matt Evans keeping the race lead. He's doing well on points too, and he's trying to get a championship he felt was robbed of him last year. We mentioned in the All-Star Challenge Open that Ray Takeda was getting a new paint scheme, but the templates did not come in. Well, they came in now. This is what the car would have looked like in the All-Star Challenge, but unfortunately it was not made there, so they brought the car this weekend. And it also seems to be doing good. The Rosario plus Vampire Chevy, as they are running in the top 10. This is currently a career run for Ray Takeda. She has seldom run this well in an event. So she's hoping to get a good finish out today, and she's really excited for the foreign tour for the next couple of races, racing on mostly road courses, which are her specialty. But the next race is at the Speedway of Rockingham. William Duncan, car number 83, is going to dive down for the race lead, and that's going to give him a bonus point for the championship. William Duncan needs all the bonus points he can get. He wants to make sure that this 83 car is in the championship's victory lane at Myrtle Beach at the end of the year. Last year, it didn't even look like he would have been a factor this year, but this is one of the most inspiring turnarounds by a driver. But it looks like Matt Evans, car number 4, is going to work his way back underneath for the race lead, and is quite a battle near the front. As look at this, William Duncan, one lap later, is going to split Maria Commisso and Matt Evans and make it go 3 wide. Close call, almost getting into Matt Evans in the 4 machine. Just to show you the kind of exciting racing we're having up front between this 5-car breakaway pack that also includes Dom Capps and Alex DeMarco. William Duncan would eventually take the lead back by passing Maria Commisso on the inside. And also, Dom Capps being up there is another driver that Bob Cittadino doesn't want to see near the front. So Bob Cittadino's going to have to try and work his way up. But William Duncan having a great showing today in Indianapolis. I believe he attempted this race last year, but the result was not there. We had our first caution on lap 14. And John Cittadino, car number 72, who has been on a streak of good luck, ping-pongs between Trek Togg and Brandon Baines, going to get turned by the 60, hard contact into the wall. Neil Evans involved. And let's see who else gets a piece of this. Oh, Vladimir Petrov, Megan Curley, Michael Creed, scrap metal just flying everywhere. There's Adam Dunlap also getting involved. That's a shame for him. He was hoping to have a good finish today. As we continue onward, it looks like we have a report that one driver actually flipped over. Let's take a look. Vladimir Petrov, car number 09. He's going to make contact with John Cittadino here. He's going to slide up the track, and Megan Curley's just going to hammer him. And look at that barrel roll. Vladimir Petrov. That car's going to get messed up. Bob Cittadino, the points leader's involved. So is Joseph Bryant. They would get all these drivers back racing if you look at one more camera angle. But a lot of these drivers are going to be heavily damaged. A couple cars are going to be off the pace. I see Jack Darby also involved. He's one of our new drivers, and he's going to get some hard contact there too. These drivers have been going pretty fast this weekend at speeds of almost 200 miles per hour. So that's always calling for trouble, especially when you go into turn 3. Incident lap 14. This happened just seconds after the first crash. Andrew Robinson and Jamie Murphy are going to get together, plow that wall hard. And Adam Dunlap's going to get some damage before hitting into the other wreck. There's Russell Curie also going to slam into this as well. And this has been an upsetting couple of weeks for Jamie Murphy. This car has not been doing as well as they were doing earlier in the year. The hopes of winning this championship 2 years in a row are starting to fade here at the midpoint of the season. Drivers would come down for pit stops on lap 15 just to try and top off on tires, just to make sure everything was going well. Everyone came down pit road. Not a single driver stayed out. We went back green flag racing, but not for long as another caution happened. There's Colin Bartel running to the inside. He's going to make contact with Nicholas Guerra. And look at that, how hard the 27 car of Chris Arroyo is going to hit the wall. And Chris Arroyo was hoping for a good run today. It's a shame. And it looks like we got some more trouble over here. Oh, whoa. More drivers going to get involved. Colin Bartel's just going to run into Joseph Bryant. Usually it's Joseph Bryant running into other drivers. Let's see what happened over here. Now, after avoiding that, Tyler Benoit's going to get into Michael Creed. He gets into the wall, comes down, hits into John Cittadino. David Yankee, who's unsponsored for this race, is going to plow in as well. And a couple other drivers are going to get slowed down, like Neil Evans and Joseph Bryant. And Joseph Bryant's going to get hit again and turned around by Tyler Benoit and the other driver. Now, we're getting a report that Dom Capps could actually be the points leader coming out of this race, despite how well William Duncan is doing in the race lead, because Dom Capps has been consistent but winless, which seems to be, based on past experiences, the formula for winning a championship. That is why he is a heavy favorite. At his current running pace, he would be the points leader. Now we take a look back at Alex Tanker, car number 34. He's kind of a rookie at this track despite being here last year. That's because his car broke down on the starting grid, was unable to start the event. Now he's made it past the starting line, and car number 34 is still driving on track. He sits in 14th, which is a great run for the 34 machine. He's trying to work his way into locked-in status. but he's not going to do that unless he gets some good finishes and starts making some races. The 34 car did pretty well last year, but this year has been struggling. Car number 12, Joey Beatty, is going to catch up to William Duncan, the 83 car, and is going to take the race lead. Now, Joey Beatty had a great run at Martinsville in his debut, finishing in second place and getting Rookie of the Race. This 12 car has been unstoppable. Zach Saturday also had a great run in this. If they have a shot at making the top 35 in points, Joey Beatty, I think, is going to be their shot if he's had a great run. But William Duncan is going to pass on the inside and take the lead. Now we take a look at car number 3, Tyler Benoit. He is starting to move up in the pack a little bit, slowly but surely. Now Tyler Benoit, a past winner at this race, this is the track that usually sets the turnaround for his season. So hopefully Tyler Benoit can work his way up through the pack and make the turnaround. Meanwhile, Joey Beatty would take the race lead one more time, but William Duncan is not going to give it up that easily. He's going to muscle by and take it once again. But this would not deter car number 12, as the 12 car wants to make sure William Duncan knows he's got a fast ride, and that car is going to go by William Duncan once again. Phoenix Indiana Motorsports is having a great run today, but let's take a look at the other Phoenix Indiana Motorsports car of Jack Darby making his debut start. He currently sits in 42nd. This car is heavily damaged and is having a poor showing. As you can see, his teammate going around him on the backstretch and putting him a second lap down. Now, there seems to be a curse in the Utica Home Track Series for car number 1. The 1 car seems to always have trouble, and it was proved earlier this year with Chris Kyle, who had a train wreck of a 7-race stretch. Hopefully Jack Darby and the other drivers of this number 1 machine throughout the year will not face such issues after this event. But the 1 car curse is prevalent today. We take a look at the number 22 of Justin Benoit, and he's going to have a close call with Brandon Bain as he tried to get around the 1 car. This slow 1 car has been really stacking up these drivers. And look at that, Era Shock! This is going to get into Brandon Bain. We got 3 wide racing behind a slapped car, and look at this. The 22 is going to get stuck behind the 1, and look at all these drivers trying to pass underneath, and Justin Benoit's going to lose a lot of spots, and that's a shame. He was running in the top 10. He's going to drop down to the teens, but nevertheless, this is a good run for the number 22 machine. Green flag pit stops would take off on lap 52 as Joey Beatty would pit with a couple of the back markers. Ray Takita would go into the race lead along with Joey Beatty. This is the first time they've led laps in the Utica Home Track Series, so congratulations to both Beatty and Takita. They're hoping to lead many more laps in the future. Ray Takita would lead for only 1 lap, though, as she and the rest of the lead cars would go on pit road, along with a couple of the lapped vehicles heading on pit road. They would make their pit stops, but pit stops would not be problem-free as we had a pit incident on lap 54. William Duncan is going to come out of his stall and make contact with Ray Takita, and he's going to spin out on pit road. That's going to be terrible for the number 83 machine and all the drivers stuck behind him. Ray Takita lucks out a little bit here, but she is already trailing behind as car number 12, Joey Beatty, who pitted early, is going to go back into the race lead and extend his race lead to 6 seconds. So great job by Joey Beatty with the strategy, and also he kind of lucked out there with William Duncan making contact with Ray Takita. Let's just see if he can keep this race lead. We're going to spotlight Esteves Cortez, car number 86. He is running in 9th position. Now, he was doubtful going into this weekend that he would even make the show, but currently running in the top 10. Esteves Cortez was a real winner on pit road, and he's hoping that he can keep it up near the front. He's also hoping that when the foreign tour comes in, he'll be able to get back in gear, as there's going to be a lot of road course races like Silverstone, Ruin Lakes of Surge, and Kyalami. Ryan Valentine has said over this radio that he's praying for a caution, as this car is fast enough to get Joey Beatty, but not fast enough to do it in the amount of laps present in the remainder of the race, which is 20 laps to go. But the caution fairies heard his prayer, and we had a caution that same lap. Michelle Cittadino, car number 69, is going to try and cut off the 73 machine of Samantha Yankee. It's not going to work, and she's going to get into the wall. It's going to be a single car incident. which is fortunate for the other teams, but not good for Michelle Cittadino, who maybe should have not have pulled in front of the 73 machine that soon. On the restart, Brian Valentine proved that his car is faster than the two leaders as he would muscle his way past the number 13X of Ray Takeda. Now, even with help from Jeffrey Finguy, Brian Valentine has preferred line, and he's got a quick car going into the turn. He's just got to make sure he can catch up to the 12 of Joey Beatty. He would not gain too many spots as we had another caution on lap 67. John Cittadino, car number 72. He's been getting hit all weekend. He's going to get turned by Neil Evans, and that's going to get Brock McMahon, Michelle Cittadino, Jamie Murphy, and Chris Aurelio involved. Car spinning on the backstretch. It's not going to be too bad, but under caution, Brock McMahon is going to cause a wreck that's even worse. We had an incident lap 69. As Brock McMahon tries to catch up to the rest of the pack, he just does not brake and runs straight into the back of Michelle Cittadino, John Cittadino, Chris Aurelio, Jamie Murphy, and Joseph Bryant. No one was happy on the radio about this maneuver, and Brock McMahon and Michelle Cittadino would have to go to pit road and repair the damages on their car. That's going to set them back a lap. And that is unfortunate for these drivers who have already had a rough enough day. McMahon should have used his brains on that one and not his throttle. Car number 33, with only 8 laps to go, was sitting in 7th place, and this has been a great race for Aeroshock, as no one has gotten into her or wrecked her, or she has not smashed into a fence. So no one's on the kill list today. The 33 machine is having a smooth, easy day. Brian Valentine, car number 66, on lap 73, is going to show that the 66 car has the power to take the race lead, and he's going to do it, pulling ahead of the 12 of Joey Beatty. Brian Valentine has not led a lap all day until right now with only 7 laps to go. So things are really looking up for Brian Valentine. But Joey Beatty has a car that's on the same level as the 66 car. The lap after it, Joey Beatty is going to pass the 66 car once again in a battle for the lead near the end of this race. And there's Vladimir Petrov, who's gotten a sudden burst of speed as of late and has been running times as quick as these lead cars. Brian Valentine is not deterred, as on the backstretch one more lap later, he's going to go underneath the 12 car and make the pass. But the caution fairies seem to really like Brian Valentine today, as on lap 76, they would give us the 5th caution of the event and put us under caution with only 4 laps to go. Let's see what happened here. It's Colin Bartel and Nicholas Guerra are going to get into each other again. They're going to hit the wall hard. Whoa! Airborne for both of them. Drake Togger's going to get involved. There's Matt Evans, Samantha Yonke, cars piling in. Bryant, Arcuri, Cittadino, Aurelio, Murphy, and whoa! Look at that! Air for Chris Aurelio as Michelle Cittadino and Jack Darby plow in. Oh my god, and we're going to take an onboard quick with Andres Allen. Look at this. That is the most beautiful needle threading I have ever seen. Great job by Andres Allen to make it through the wreck, but let's go on board with a driver that wasn't as fortunate. Chris Aurelio, car number 27. He's going to go into the turn. He's going to slow down, going to get turned. He's just in the wrong place at the wrong time, as Michelle Cittadino's going to plow right into him, and look at this car tumble. We're going to look at one more view of the wreck. 4 drivers are going to go out during this wreck. Michelle Cittadino, Jamie Murphy, Chris Aurelio, and John Cittadino. They're all going to end what was already very horrible days at the very tail end of the race. As you see, Nicholas Guerra is going to get hammered. And look at that. I think Matt Evans just decided to floor into the 6th car for no particular reason. But now, Brian Valentine is not out of the clear just yet, as we have 1 lap to go as we go back. Green flag racing. Now what Valentine needs to count on is that Vladimir Petrov is going to be able to hold the number 12 machine back as they line up single file under caution with 10 laps to go. Vladimir Petrov, a lapped car that's been running on pace with the leaders. Joey Beatty, the fastest forward on the track and has been the main competitor for the race win. But here we go. Brian Valentine, car number 66. They said at the beginning of this year, we're here to win a championship and we're here to win races to do it. car number 66, a two-time winner this year at Bristol and Zandvoort. Two completely different tracks. He's hoping to add a third track to it today. Vladimir Petrov, car number 09, is starting to catch up, but Joey Beatty is not going to be able to catch up. He had a pretty poor start for this restart. Brian Valentine is going to get his 5th career win here at Indianapolis. A great run by Brian Valentine and a superb effort by the single car operation. Also, great job by Joey Beatty. But the action didn't end there as we had a pit incident post-race. Brock McMahon, car number 44, as cars are slowing down from pit road, he's not going to brake at all. Gets into Adam Dunlap, and he's going to wreck a couple cars. Then he's going to plow into the wall himself and cut in front of Seth Cole. I have no idea what Brock McMahon was thinking, but I think the officials are going to have to check his points position after this race. Here are the race results. Brian Valentine is your winner, and Joey Beatty is the rookie of the race. He's actually going to score more points than the race winner, based on the bonus points. Ray Takita, Jeffrey Finguy, William Duncan, the top 5. Then Dom Capps, Maria Commisso, Arishok, Brandon Bain, and Justin Capps, your top 10. Then it's Cortez, Robinson, Benoit, the Benoit brothers, 13 and 14. Then Curly, DeMarco, the pole sitter, Yankee, Tanker, Guerra, and Michael Creed at 20th place, which is pretty solid. Then there's Cole, Allen, Evans, Cortez, Robinson, Chogger, Yankee. Matt Evans is going to have a terrible day after that wreck. Nicholas Guerra and Joseph Bryant was the last car in the lead lap. Then one lap down was Petrov, Cittadino, Dunlap, McMahon, Bartel, and Arcuri. Jack Darby was 2 laps out at the pace. Julian Kennebus Jr. fell 3 laps down. And then 3 cars out of the race. John Cittadino, Chris Aurelio, Jamie Murphy, and Michelle Cittadino, a 42nd place. A thing day for those drivers. But we're going to take a look at the top 35 in the point standings. Dom Capps, as we said, is your points leader, 2 points over Bob Cittadino. William Duncan is also creeping close behind, and Brian Valentine's working his way up. Then there's Matt Evans, Justin Capps, Jeffrey Finguy, Brock McMahon, who might be losing some of those points, Colin Bartel, and Brandon Bain, your top 10. Then there's Todd Benoit, Russell Arcuri, Megan Curley, David Yankee, Jamie Murphy, Andreas Allen, Neil Evans, Zachary Robinson, Nicholas Guerra, and Julian Kennebus Jr., your top 20. John Cittadino, Maria Commisso, Michelle Cittadino, Samantha Yankee, Arishok, Trek Togger, Seth Cole, Ray Takita, Chris Aurelio, and Bob Cortez now the top 3. Chris Aurelio won't be back until Cleveland race, well, a little later in the year. Then we have Kevin Ulrich, who doesn't run anymore, Alex DeMarco, Andrew Robinson, and then 2 drivers who don't run anymore, Jeff Evans and Billy Bishop, rounding out the top 35. Let's take a look quickly at the drivers who have to race their way in next week in England if they so attempt. With Ogo, Bryant, Bro, Tanker, Michael's your top 40. Then Guerra, Young, Benoit, Petrov, Cortez, Beatty, Dunlap, who won't be back until Myrtle Beach based on the horrible run he had today. LeMayo, Duell, Decker, Benoit, Capps, Aurelio, who won't be back until Cleveland. Patterson, Creed, Saturday, Atwood, Jay, Ogo, Scott, Smith, Allen, Beatty, Davis, DeFrank, Fentons, LaGray, Martin, Darby, White, and Chris Kyle, who's at the end of the point standings. 2 drivers down here with the number 1 car curse. Now we're going to take a look at the top 10 in Rookie of the Year points. Dom Capps is on top for that. 1 point back is William Duncan. Then there's Justin Capps and Colin Bartel battling it out for 3rd and 4th. Then we have Robinson, Guerra, Kennebus Jr., Takita, Shock, and Bob Cortez rounding out the top 10. Now, next week, we are not going to Rockingham, North Carolina. We're going to Rockingham in the United Kingdom. Yes, we start our foreign tour next week with the Speedway track of the Rockingham Circuit. I hope to see you there, and thank you for watching.